My Wii U has been by my side since 2013. There's no denying the fact that this was the console that defined my teens, even if it was hated on by so many others. It was one of my favorites for so many reasons. Look at all those hours Nintendo recorded without my knowledge. Then that fateful day happened. A storm was brewing heavily in my home of Melbourne. Goku had just left his Capsule Corp ship and was flying at full speed to where Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta were getting the snot beaten out of them by Riku. And I thought the thing I'd be most concerned about today would be the Uber Eats app messing up my order and removing the burger after I pressed confirm. Some McDonald's employee was probably thinking, who uses Uber Eats to buy one hash brown? And then it happened. I'd never felt the house shake under my feet like that. All the electronics and appliances lost power, except for two which still had lights on, the microwave and the Wii U. When enough time had passed, I was finally able to switch the house's power back on, and it was clear something was wrong. A light had burst in the kitchen, both the TV and Wi-Fi router were completely dead, and I was having trouble with the PS4. When I got the chance to plug it into another TV, I couldn't get a video signal. I got the system checked out, and turns out chips on the board are fried, meaning my PS4 was done. The Wii U, however, tanked through the lightning and still worked fine. What an absolute chad. Or so I thought. Continuing to use the Wii U as I normally did, using its gamepad as the TV in the room was still kaput. But several days later, when I got a spare TV set up, I realized something was not right. While the Wii U continued to work as normal, much like the PS4, I couldn't get it to display a video signal for HDMI. Its analog output for Wii cables still worked, but, you know, yuck. And just after I got my hands on the Bayonetta Double Pack 2, and this went from, oh, this is a minor setback, to, oh no, I should definitely be worried. When I went to system settings and video output, you can switch between output types and resolutions, and after trying to set it back to HDMI and set a resolution, it would soft lock the Wii U every single time. At least I'm grateful the console still works, unlike the PS4, which couldn't stay turned on nor connect to controllers. So I guess life just continued for a bit. I had to use the gamepad screen, only because I had to and not because I was too lazy to turn the TV on. After a while of not knowing what to do, I was on Nintendo's website, and to my absolute surprise, they still had a support page for the Wii U. So after doing some reading, I made a call to Nintendo Australia's customer support. And they did indeed still do Wii U repairs. And when inquiring about mailing it in, it was revealed the nearest Nintendo branch was within driving distance, meaning I could go there myself? The following week, I went on my journey, and sure enough, there was the Nintendo logo on a sign. While Nintendo HQ is located in Kyoto, Japan, branches like this handle things for specific regions, such as marketing, product distribution, customer support, and in my case, repairs. I had been instructed to go to the rear entrance, and sure enough, not hard to spot, parts and repairs and delivery pickups, right next to a bright red My Nintendo banner. And though I didn't take a photo, I swear I could see a Dread Samus cardboard cutout in one of the building's windows. I walked in, and the room was pretty nice, with My Nintendo products all around the walls, as well as a Mario Kart home circuit and Lego Super Mario stuff. And there was a little Mario Maker Mario with a button to press for assistance. Someone came down and I had to mention a phone call I had previously, and then I needed to fill down a form on a computer to the right, but it was annoying because the keyboard was so low and I kept having to look down at what keys I was hitting. Also, it had Japanese characters on it too. After that, I just had to hand over my Wii U. Now, this was absolutely insane. I had come all the way to Nintendo with a Wii U and gamepad strapped inside my backpack. A product discontinued almost 5 years prior. One that they had recently announced they were going to shut down the digital eShop for. A console that did significantly worse financially than others, and a system that Nintendo would often try to sweep under the rug after their priority became the Nintendo Switch. And all I had to do was leave it here and wait. I didn't get a guarantee my saves wouldn't be wiped, and I made it clear I just wanted the HDMI damage to be repaired, and that my console would not be replaced outright. And I was told I wouldn't need to pay anything for the technicians to open it up and examine it. Depending on how much damage needed to be repaired, it could cost me up to $100, but they would not proceed without my consent. My thought process at the time was if they could not repair it and try to replace it, I would be able to come and pick it up without losing my saves, and probably buy a second-hand Wii U to perform a system transfer to, as my backup plan. And so I went home. and I waited. And by the end of the week, I got another call from Nintendo with less than good news. Because the Wii U was an older product, they would need more time to get the parts, and my console would be a lesser priority, so I'd have to wait longer. So I decided to be patient, and to wait, thinking it would be worth it in the end. And 3 months passed, and man, the itch to play Hyrule Warriors was really eating at me, and I never got to try the Bayonetta games. I had to be patient. I had been patient enough, and decided to call myself.
Hi, I'm calling about my Wii U repairs.
Okay, give me a moment. Yes, here we are. Yes, your replacement console has been waiting for you for about 2 weeks now.
So as you can imagine, I'm shocked and starting to panic. How would you feel? Well, probably different to me. It's a Wii U, you probably had no attachment to the system. But for context, my personal value for my Wii U and its downloaded games and all its saves are pretty high, as I've had it since I turned 13, with me now being 22, with some of my favourite games and gaming memories associated with that console. So the story goes, when they opened it up, even though its damage only affected the HDMI, it was still damaged enough that the board was not able to be repaired, and at that rate, you can't just replace the whole board, you might as well just replace the entire Wii U, which is what they did, but apparently the technicians didn't notify support when they were done, so because of that, nobody knew to notify me. And furthermore, because of that board damage, Nintendo's internal tools were not able to data transfer all my data to another system, the very thing I feared the most. I asked if they could simply use the in-menu system transfer feature, and while they said they have not tested that, they couldn't say for sure, but it would most more than likely result in a system error screen and be unable to continue. So they left me with 2 choices. Either I can come back and reclaim my original Wii U and keep all of its data, but never be able to use it with a TV again. Or they would offer a replacement unit, free of charge, as an apology for the confusion. A fully functional, brand new console that could potentially last much longer, but all my data would be lost for good. Understanding it was a tough choice, I was told I could sleep on the decision and call them back in the morning. During that time, I was in a frenzy, asking around from Twitter to Discord to Reddit, asking people what they would do. And while we're at it, please take the time to put your own answer in the comments. As well as looking into homebrew options for transferring Wii U data, those options seemed risky. And the overwhelming majority of opinions were to accept the replacement unit. So, I came to the conclusion that all my data, years and years of adventures, and progress across 20 plus games was all sentimental. And something someone said really made me think. There's nothing wrong with starting those games over, it just gives you an excuse to experience them all over again. Also, thank God having a Nintendo Network ID allows you to re-download games you've already purchased, because I've purchased a lot of digital content. So, I went back to Nintendo the next day, and before anyone asks, no, I was not allowed to keep both of the Wii U's. And I went to pick up my replacement unit alongside a new Wii U gamepad and a new power supply. I didn't know they'd replace that. Wish I brought my HDMI cable, it's looking a little There was also a Ziploc bag with my USB drive, and I guess the files on it are useless, only being encrypted to my old Wii U. And my SD card! I'm gonna be real honest, I completely forgot this was in there. Seriously, I bought this 16 gig card years ago to store my digital copy of Trap Team, and it turns out you can't store games on there. I can't save anything on here aside from Smash Bros. Wii U screenshots and, I guess, Wii content. Also, there was a little display for Switch Online controllers.
Nice stuff, but something about a Sega controller being in a Nintendo display at a Nintendo branch. That's pretty crazy. I still can't believe this. Brand new Wii U, free of charge, straight from Nintendo.
Gamepad's in here, completely wrapped up. This is exciting because my previous one had a bit of a scrape on its screen because my sister accidentally dropped something on it several years ago. Actually, it was quite a few years ago. Look at that. Plastic sealed and everything. That's... God, this is bringing me back to 2013.
Here's the part I always get scared of. Peeling it off. Look at all that glossiness. It's gonna be just fingerprints by tomorrow. I can't remember my Wii U ever looking like that. It's just 8+ years of scratches and fingerprints. Youch. I am too scared to touch this thing. This is the most glossy anything I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be just as glossy. Here's the gamepad. Why didn't I do an unboxing back in 2013? Here it is. Oh my gosh! Look at this thing. Hi. Oh, that's amazing. And there's the fingerprint. Right there. Fingerprint and a piece of dust and a hair. See? You can't keep these glossy forever. It just doesn't work. It's not possible.
So here I am with a stock Wii U manufactured in 2015, and while I'm sad my adventures, my achievements, and my progress of many games are gone for good, I still have all my games physical and digital, and I've been playing them a lot lately. Some for the first time in years, and honestly, all it's done is make me fall in love with this console all over again. And with the eShop's days numbered, a lot of new experiences I've been putting off for a long time. I received my replacement Wii U during the same week as my PS5. If you want to hear about that story, I suggest you check out my video on that. And both systems spent a couple of days fighting over the bandwidth to re-download all my digital games. So to conclude this, I gotta say, I know the Wii U's Nintendo's worst performing main console, and I know many people were not interested in it, consumers and publishers alike, and Nintendo indeed made some poor decisions during the life of this system that they still seem ashamed of. But at the end of the day, you gotta admit, it's an incredible system with so much about it to love. It was honestly something really special and a bookmark in time for Nintendo's history. It will be sad when the eShop is gone in March, and who knows when it will happen. The online servers will eventually shut down. And serious credit where credit is due for everyone at Nintendo customer support who took the time to help me out, even the one who had to refamiliarize themselves with the Wii U stuff. It is very clear they are all big Nintendo fans and know the emotional value of this stuff, and I couldn't thank them enough. But even in 2022, there's still a lot going on with this console's cult following. As of now, it's still possible to publish indie titles on the Wii U eShop, and all the dev tools for Unity are still floating around the internet, with more people gaining interest in developing their own Wii U project on their own console thanks to Homebrew. Speaking of Homebrew, the Wii U has become sort of the console of choice for many emulation projects and native ports of decompiled games. A recent one, and popular at that, is Sonic Mania Plus, which by this point works almost flawlessly. I have no reason to want Sonic Mania on the Wii U, but it's still amazing. And even though the online servers are still running, a project is in development called Pretendo, which serves as a replacement server for whenever Nintendo decides to pull the plug, and even restores functionality to Super Mario Maker, Splatoon, and Miiverse, a beloved aspect of the Wii U experience that's been lost forever, so it's still cool to see what the Wii U brings. Stay tuned, and stay awesome.